In this video, I'm going to be breaking down the ideas used in these loops. There's tablature to each loop down in the description if you want to learn how to play them. First off, let's talk about instrument choice. For these kinds of loops, you need to either use steel string acoustic guitars or a nylon string guitar. And I will say you don't need a high-end guitar to get a great sound. In fact, this nylon string guitar that I used in both loops cost me about $200 new, and it sounds amazing. This first loop is in harmonic minor. If you already have a good understanding of harmonic minor, you can skip ahead. If you aren't familiar with harmonic minor, here's how it works. So right here, I have all the notes that are in A Aeolian or A minor, and then all the notes that are in A harmonic minor. Literally, the only difference between the two is the seventh note. In Aeolian, the seventh note in the scale is a flat seventh, whereas in harmonic minor, the seventh note is a major seventh. So in A Aeolian, the seventh is a G. In harmonic minor, the seventh is a G sharp. And how does that affect the chords in the key? Well, check it out. It changes the 5 chord from being a minor chord in Aeolian to being a major chord in harmonic minor. In the key of A, E is the 5 chord, and in A Aeolian, the E chord is a minor triad. It has the notes E, G, and B, whereas the E chord in A harmonic minor is actually an E major chord because of this G sharp. A couple of the other chords change in harmonic minor, but right now all I'm focusing on is this 5 chord. If you feel overwhelmed by that explanation, just know this. In regular minor or Aeolian, the 5 chord is a minor chord. In harmonic minor, the 5 chord is a major chord. To demonstrate the difference, I'm going to play the same chord progression, except the first time it's going to be in Aeolian, and the second time it's going to be in harmonic minor. Note the different feel of the last chord that I play in the progression. All right, we're going to watch the first loop again, this time all the way through, and then I'm going to break down every concept. The first thing to talk about is the chord progression. We're in the key of E harmonic minor. The chords are E minor, A minor, C major, B major, which is the major 5. That right there is a great harmonic minor chord progression to use in your own loops. And the second time I play the loop, I actually add a little bit of variation at the end of the progression. I'll show you what I mean. The same chords are played. We have E minor, A minor, C major, B major, but then I throw in a D sharp diminished chord before returning to E minor. You can throw a diminished chord 1 semitone below your target chord. So I'm targeting E minor, D sharp is 1 semitone below E, so that's why I'm playing D sharp diminished. Adding a diminished chord at the end of the progression is kind of a lazy hack that I always do. It always works and it sounds great. As far as strumming pattern, I don't even recommend you learn exactly like what down up pattern I'm doing. Just listen to it, get the overall feel. And something I'll note is I'm strumming very aggressively. I'm hitting those strings really hard. You gotta strum your guitars with attitude in the style. And then as far as melody, I improvise all my melodies. I get a rhythm going and then I throw that on loop and then just improvise melodies until I get something fire. But some guidelines for you to follow. I pretty much stick to the top 3 strings on the guitar, the G, B, and the E strings when coming up with these melodies. And then in this style, I find that playing faster runs work really well. Also throw a lot of slides, pull-offs, and hammer-ons in because those work really well in this style as well. Let's jump to the second loop. I use a lot of the same concepts from the first one. The key difference here is I'm playing in triplets with a really cool picking pattern. Let's Let's talk about the picking pattern in this one. It's a triplet Travis picking style. What I'm doing is I'm going middle finger playing the E string, the pointer playing the B, and then I'm alternating bass notes with my thumb. So it's middle, pointer, thumb, middle, pointer, thumb. And if you've ever learned some of the classic Travis picking songs like Landslide by Fleetwood Mac or Dust in the Wind, it's a very similar feel to that in regards to what your thumb is doing. To pause the video because this is something I need to talk about. When I first got into doing loops, I thought the performance needs to be flawless. That's dumb. What I do now is if there's a really tricky chord that I need to play, I'll just punch it in separately. Feel free to go even one bar at a time when recording these loops. You definitely don't need to play it perfectly in one go. This progression's not actually in harmonic minor, but we still get that flamenco sound because of the triplets, because of the nylon string guitar, and because of the melody. I have a capo on the 4th fret. We have E minor, A minor, C major 7, E minor inversion, A minor 9, and then I finish it off again with the diminished before returning to the E. So I'm playing D sharp diminished at the end of the progression. As far as the melody, I'm pretty much doing the same thing that I was talking about in the last loop. I'm playing a fast run, I'm throwing in a lot of pull-offs, and then in this case, it's also a triplet melody. Because the rhythm's also playing triplets, the melody goes along really well with the rhythm in triplets. But yes, that's the end of the video. Those are the things that I'm thinking about when I'm coming up with these loops. I'd recommend you download the tabs and learn how to play these. That's how I got good at making them, as I learned how to play other people's melodies. Hope you got something out of this video. The end.